Good morning, park managers, and welcome to High Pines Park. Today we're going to be making an enclosure for the Yutyrannus and as well starting on the banks of our valley on one of the sides. And what I'm going to do, I kind of had planned, is just to stretch this out for pretty much the majority of the map, so I'll just keep adding to it on time. But we just start the little corner over here that's going to follow the valley through with our river that's in the middle. So the way I'm going to do it is almost like a quarry like steep, where then the path will zigzag all the way up to the top, and do some like barriers and things like that, and a load of pathing, and sort of like, you see what I'm doing here, weaving it. We do barriers which would be there to kind of hopefully stop guests, any staff vehicles or boulders from falling all the way down onto every single path. And it does take a while to do this little bit, so I do cut this bit out, and we'll be skipping on into the future, as it did take a while and I didn't do it all the way around paths. It was just segments like this, and then we're going to use the rock brush to make it look very rocky, like it has been mined into the side of this mountain to make this path purposely, which is probably for the best. I mean, if there was a sky tram, I'd probably use that more than I'd actually use the like path. It looks like it'd be too much to walk up for me. But anyways, getting on to it, I just had like a load of rock and boulders just to give it a bit of character and life to it. And obviously this is why the barriers are there. So if one of those boulders get loose, hopefully the barriers would somewhat stop it, or at least slow it down so it's not completely tumbling. I mean, that kind of defeats the purpose of probably spare no expense in making the park completely safe. But hey, it's Jurassic World, Jurassic Park. It's never really safe, is it, to be honest? And then I was kind of struggling what hotels I want. In the end, I went for the Jurassic Park hotels because I thought the Jurassic World ones seemed like a lot, so that would cost a fair amount to build and get those materials up this hill. And I think it kind of looks kind of cutesy using the Jurassic Park like hotels, kind of hut-like. It looks kind of nice, goes with the rest of the like this area. It just looks pretty. As well, we decorate these buildings so they are more Jurassic Park shops, so it kind of fits in with the hotels that are next to them. And I just go around changing them all, and this is probably one of the things I love doing. One thing I hope we see in Jurassic World Evolution 3 is that we'll be able to go inside of them and actually see what they look inside, and maybe even decorate the inside even more, and just add that more customization, and make it look pretty and just fun. I started using the multi-wall to separate the path from the sitting area. Then I realised that the water fountain there is just kind of in the way, so we get rid of it and we change up the decoration ever so slightly. And then we just go around adding like loads of tables and chairs knocking about, just in different corners like they've been moved around, so there's extra seating. I love the ones with the umbrellas. You can put them right next to each other and make double tables like guests would do. I put a few spare umbrellas knocking around in the corners that guests can go and use if they wish, and I sort of just decorate it up a bit more so it's more foresty and fits in with the rest of it. Off camera, I add a load of lights to the paths, and then we just get started on our Yutyrannus enclosure, which I quite enjoyed. I think what I'm going to do is try and make the majority of these enclosures in this park all fit with one another, rather than trying to theme them into different environments. I might do ever so slight theming, but to be honest, I want to kind of keep that flow throughout the park, because sometimes when you go to a lot of zoos, it's the native country plants with the odd like sort of plant here and there that isn't native. So this is the kind of vibe I'm going to go for, a bit more of a realistic vibe in that sense, and keeping this zoo pretty much the same all the way through, near enough, give or take, depending if I want a swamp or anything like that, or a like a desert biome. I'd have it so the desert biome's probably in a aviary dome. But yeah, here is our Yutyrannus. It was actually requested. Someone asked if I'd add a Yutyrannus to my park and have it blue feathers with white stripes, and I really like it. And they wanted it to be called Yuki, and it's a nice name for it. It's also an F1 driver if you're into F1. But yeah, honestly, I had a lot of fun making this. It's taken me a while to do this hill. I was trying to get the path right. Even now, I'm sort of looking at the path. I'm like, maybe I rework that little area, rework that little area. But that's the beauty of this game. Just because you finish that area and it looks finished doesn't mean you have to be done with it. You can always go back to it. And if you're one of these people that like sort of like struggles, I get a few people saying, "Oh, I struggle making my parks look pretty, etc. Just make your park, and then later on, once you've made it and you've, let's say you've watched a few YouTube tutorials or things like this, or you've been homing in your skills, always just return to that park and try and improve those areas. There's nothing stopping you from doing that, and it's something I used to do way back when, and even now I still do. Now I start making something and I'll always return back to it. I'm like, you know what, I actually am going to make that change, make that area a little bit different. And I don't just completely abandon my parks once I'm done with them. I do come back to them, I add different things, change different aspects to them, and yeah. Anyways, this is a few bird's eye view shots I've got of the park in night. I've been adding all these lights, and I really do like just seeing the lights in between the trees and up on the hill here. I feel like it just adds like another aspect. Something I always forget to do after I've made my parks is just have a look at what they look like at night time. Like, it's so easy. Like, I tend to just build during the day, keep it always daytime, to the point where I almost forgot, you know, like I almost forget what the park looks like at night. So it's just nice to go back to and just sort of see that different side of it. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this and it's giving you some kind of inspiration with your builds. And as always, till next time, I'll see you later.